46 AD, a group of outcasts were given a name destined to outlast empires. But the official story leaves out the most important part, how they got it, and why the entire thing almost fell apart before it even began. This isn't about a name, it's about the most improbable headquarters heist in history. And by the end of this, you may never see the book of Acts the same way again. I'm going to show you how a handful of scattered refugees accidentally built a launch pad for a global movement. You're going to learn about the shocking reversal that no one saw coming and why the center of this new faith moved from one city everyone expected to the one city no one could have predicted. But first, we need to go to a city called Antioch so I can paint a picture of what's really going on. It's around 40 AD. The Jesus movement has one, and I mean only one center of gravity, Jerusalem. The apostles are there, the original church is there. If you're a follower of Jesus, this is your home base. But then persecution strikes, and it strikes hard. Stephen is publicly martyred. Believers scattered like ashes in the wind. Most of them flee into familiar Jewish communities where they can try to blend in, but some go to Antioch. Now we need to understand that Antioch wasn't just some dusty outpost. This was the ancient world's equivalent of New York City. This was the third largest city in the Roman Empire, a sprawling multicultural hub of commerce and chaos. We're talking pagan temples everywhere. They dominate the skyline, dozens of languages in the streets. If Jerusalem was the Vatican, then Antioch was Las Vegas. And this is where the story takes a hard left turn. Those refugees, they were not apostles. They weren't famous leaders. They weren't the people that you'd pick out of a lineup, but they start doing something radical, telling people about Jesus. I'm talking about non-Jews, Greeks, pagans, everyone. Total outsiders. Something happens that no one could have predicted. The book of Acts puts it this way. The Lord's hand was with them, and a great number of people believed and turned to the Lord. The message went viral in Antioch. People were flooding in. But as news of this travels back to the headquarters in Jerusalem, the reaction isn't celebration, it's suspicion. You can almost hear the whispers. Wait, they're doing what? With who? So the Jerusalem leadership, they send an investigator out. They send Barnabas. And when Barnabas arrives, he sees what's going on and he doesn't shut it down. He doesn't condemn it. Instead, the book of Acts tells us that he was glad. He saw what was happening and the man celebrated it. Barnabas knows, though, this is too big for one person, so he does something brilliant. He leaves Antioch and he tracks down a controversial figure named Saul, the man that we know as the Apostle Paul. He brings him back to Antioch, and for an entire year, the two of them teach this rapidly growing, chaotic new church. And it's in that year that the locals in Antioch see this strange new community and they realize they don't have a word for them. They're not just Jews, they're not just Greeks, they're something else. They're followers of Christ. So the people of Antioch give them a name. They call them Christians. But these refugees, they didn't just plant a church. They accidentally stole the whole movement. This is the part of the story that gets completely overlooked. Do you realize what just happened here? In that moment, the headquarters of this new faith unofficially moved. It was no longer Jerusalem, it was now Antioch. The center of gravity has shifted from the holy city to a pagan one. The launch pad for the mission moved from the place that everyone expected to the place that no one saw coming. To understand how significant this is, think about Jerusalem's history. Before it was Jerusalem, it was a fortress called Agabus. Its inhabitants were so confident in their defenses, they mocked Israel, saying that even the blind and lame could defend their city. They were wrong. But the city, by its very nature, was a fortress. It was designed to keep people out. Antioch's the complete opposite. This is a city of open trade routes and a come one, come all culture. It's built to bring people in. And this is the place that became the new launch pad for a message that would travel to the ends of the earth. But the story has one more incredible twist. A prophet named Agabus arrives. He delivers this chilling prediction. A severe famine is about to sweep across the entire Roman world. And here's the amazing part. The church in Antioch doesn't just hoard their resources. They don't wait for famine to hit them. They immediately take up a collection and send relief to Jerusalem. Think about the reversal here. This brand new outsider church that Jerusalem was so suspicious of now becomes the very lifeline that saves the original church from starvation. The people who were investigated now become the rescuers. The movement's fringe becomes the financial backbone. Jerusalem went from headquarters to needing a bailout, while Antioch went from refugee camp to global command center. So what does this story from 2,000 years ago have to do with us? Glad you asked. Do we do the same thing today? Look for God to move in the right places with the right people. But breakthroughs often come on the margin. When we see new movements start in unexpected places with unexpected people, what's our reaction? Is it suspicion like the leaders in Jerusalem? Or is it celebration like Barnabas, who saw something new and he was glad about it? Because if this story shows us anything, it's a pattern. Breakthroughs often come from the very places we're conditioned to overlook. They weren't named after a holy city or sacred bloodline. They were first called Christians in Antioch. The most diverse, messy, and unexpected place imaginable. And that's a name that would outlast empires. Because that's how this works. It takes the outsider and puts them at the center. It takes the unexpected and makes it permanent. And that pattern is still unfolding right now. And the drama is just beginning. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss next week when we get into Acts chapter 12. And we're going to talk about how one of Jesus' inner three makes a tragic end, while the church thought they were seeing ghosts. Until then, stay faithful, expect the unexpected, and God bless you.